Recording paused. Document WordPad, rich text window. The President of the United States should say to all children, here's the rule, kids, when the cop tells you to go, you go, declared Rudolph Giuliani. You say, yes, sir, no sir. Yes, police officer, no, police officer. You don't disrespect a police officer. He's a symbol of authority. The besetting problem of our era, we are insistently told by police and their apologists, is not widespread abuse and other misconduct by law enforcement officers, but increasing disrespect for authority that is being abetted by liberals and those even more dreadful people called libertarians. Corporal Casebold threatens to kill teens concerned about his victim. Young people are disrespecting authority, O'Reilly complained, pandering to the prejudices of his superannuated and incurious audience by insisting that young people in America, especially teenagers, have a defiance toward authority not seen since the Vietnam days. So pronounced is this social affliction, according to O'Reilly's diagnosis, that the entire population under the age of 25 should be written off as a lost generation, a proposal he made with blithe indifference to an audience roughly 3 times that age. Giuliani's comments were made during an interview with Fox News' Heard Poisoner Bill O'Reilly following the host's recital of a familiar Jeremiah ad. If you were around in the late 1960s and early 1970s, you know that history is repeating itself, pontificated O'Reilly. Young people subject to enslavement through conscription grew distrustful of government, understandably so, as any reasonable person would point out. O'Reilly, a stranger in the House of Reason, laments that this healthy distrust led to a breakdown of authority, and the rise of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll era. O'Reilly's personal legal history powerfully suggests that he is not a martyr to sexual self-restraint. For his part, Giuliani's colorful carnal dissipations offer an interesting counterpoint to his stern public moralizing, the central theme of which is the unconditional duty for unqualified submission to authority as embodied by the political class and its armed emissaries. Freedom is about authority, Giuliani explained in a 1994 speech. Freedom is about the willingness of every single human being to cede to lawful authority a great deal of discretion about what you do. In that formula, freedom through submission to state authority, we hear echoes of Mario Pomeriai, the chief ideologist of Vito Mussolini's fascist party. According to fascism, a great spiritual life cannot take place unless the state has risen to a position of preeminence in the world of man, wrote Pomeriai in The Philosophy of Fascism, pg 99. The curtailment of liberty thus becomes justified at once, with this need of raising the state to its rightful position. The state's rightful position, from this perspective, is one of ownership. As the property of the state, the individual is free to do only that which is permitted by those who act in its name. When a police officer, a symbol of authority, addresses a mundane, he does so from a position of ownership. This is what the term authority means. People have authority over only that which legitimately belongs to them, beginning with their physical selves and the content of their thoughts, and extending to such things as the property they have acquired through legitimate commerce or inheritance, and the performance of services that have been promised through freely negotiated and agreed contracts. In his second treatise, John Locke pointed out that parents have authority within their home to care for and educate their children. However, children themselves, contrary to the Roman doctrine of patria potestas, are not the property of their parents. The duty of parents is to care for, protect, and instruct children in sound morality as they learn to take ownership of their lives. Successful parenting instills in children an understanding of, and respect for, the Golden Rule, which requires reciprocal respect for property. The President of the United States should say to all children, here's the rule, kids, When the cop tells you to go, you go, declared Rudolph Giulier. You say, yes, sir, no sir. Yes, police officer, no, police officer. You don't disrespect a police officer. He's a symbol of authority. The besetting problem of our era, we are insistently told by police and their apologists, is not widespread abuse and other misconduct by law enforcement officers, but increasing disrespect for authority that is being abetted by liberals and those even more dreadful